Hello and welcome to Print7 News with the biggest stories and analysis from the last week in the industry. On this week's bulletin, Fastsigns continues targeting of commercial print with North Print attendance. Tony Hodgson joins us to discuss his theory on the future of print. Swemco play generation game, and RT Litho help Jaden Smith get jiggy with it. Fastsigns has continued its assault on the commercial print market as it confirms its attendance at North Print and Pack. The firm recently announced co-branding opportunities for commercial printers, whereby they can have a Fastsigns branch at discounted rates. The franchise operation believes that there is a huge growth potential in the commercial print sector due to pressurized margins and the relatively low cost of entry. North Print and Pack marks the first big opportunity for the firm to reach out to the industry. Now, the European Director of the Digital Print Initiative, Poddy, has put forward a theory regarding the future of the print industry. His report, called The New Economy of Print, says it is no longer a mass medium and that the days of making money by printing lots of copies are over. Instead, the profits are in printing fewer copies of high-value print. He discussed this with our online editor, Paddy McGarrigle.
Tony, thanks very much for joining us. As the director of a European digital print initiative, of course you're going to say this, aren't you?
Well, say what? That digital is growing, and within the fact that the overall print industry is declining, yeah. But that's a matter of fact that no one would disagree with, I think.
And I guess, you're saying obviously, shorter runs, investment in digital, but we're seeing a lot of litho equipment getting in around the world. We're still seeing a lot of throughput in print as well. So what's the main point of your report? What are you getting at here?
Well, I think that, I've worked in digital print now for some 20 years, really ever since it hit the scene in the UK. And it's always occurred to me that the ultimate point of digital printing is to do variable data. And it was difficult in the first few years. The technology wasn't really up to scratch, but it most certainly is now. And it's very accessible to any kind of printer, small or large. And so that digital print is about variable data. Variable data is ultimately about printing unique copies of things, whether that's in a direct marketing campaign where it may be a very long run, but everything is different within that, or it could be just unique copies, for example, in the huge growth of photo books in the last few years.
So what you're saying, is you're saying essentially it's going to be much shorter volumes but higher value to those volumes compared to things. But print still, you say print as a mass communication tool is over and done with, but we still do see a lot, free sheets with the newspapers and things like that. There still is a market out there for longer run printing, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it's going to disappear overnight. After all, print's been around for, as we know it, for 550 years. During that period, for many hundreds of years, it has been the preeminent mass communication medium, and it's led to fantastic advances in society and education and literacy right across the world. Absolutely no doubt about it. And given that momentum, it's going to be around for quite some time to come. But the clear fact of the matter is that it is in decline, and other media, digital media, inspired by the internet, web, mobile, are taking on a lot of the roles that print has historically performed, particularly transmission of news, the use for sort of gaining information, and all sorts of other kind of content you now just get electronically. But print seems to me to be having a new role within all that, in that it has a place precisely because it's not digital. It can get through, it can reach the parts that maybe digital can't reach. And it's beginning to, I think, have a perceived value, that it's no longer just a commodity, but is almost, in some cases, luxury goods.
And just finally, Tony, because we're running out of time, if there was one thing that you would say to a litho printer who's maybe watching this here and saying, well, again, you know, of course he's going to say that there. What would you say to him about the benefits and the value of getting into digital print?
Well, I'd say certainly get into digital print. Get some digital print equipment, start to use it. I'd say secondly, don't just think of it as doing the shorter run litho work. Look at it completely the other way around. Almost look at it to say print less rather than more. Fewer copies rather than more. Find value in the content that's going to go into those copies, whether it be data or whether it be consumer photographs or whatever it may be. That's where the value of print, I think, in the future lies, in shorter runs, higher value, and more benefit to the end user, and less of a commodity product that's been mass-produced, which is what we've been used to for such a long time beforehand.
Okay, Tony, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks very much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Finishing supplier Swemco has ensured its family ties will remain strong, with the third generation of the Med family joining the business. Set up in 1975 by current Managing Director Dave's father Ray, the firm now boasts branches nationwide and has more than 42 staff. The newest addition is 19-year-old Thomas, who is starting an apprenticeship at the company, which will see him take on many roles within the firm. And finally this week, a phone call from Los Angeles last month sparked panic at the offices of Romford printer RT Litho. The firm had just 4 days to produce 150,000 stickers for Jaden Smith, son of Hollywood superstar Will. The firm had to work throughout the weekend to get the shift out on time, but received significant publicity from the job through teeny boppers posting the photos out on social media. That's it for this week, but more on these stories and a whole host of other news and analysis is on the Print Monthly website. We're also on Twitter @PrintMonthly. Thanks for watching and do stay tuned.